and Paul's excellent adventure, a 4-year voyage while living on a cruise ship.
Well, hello everyone. What you been doing?
Hey, we are just getting ready to leave Seattle.
Seattle, Washington, in the state of Washington.
In the United States of America.
Still.
Still.
We're just getting ready. We're going to cross over into Canada.
And I hate to say it, but this isn't going to be, we're not going to tell you a whole lot about all the wonderful things about Seattle because we didn't really get to do that much. We'll explain why here in a minute. We both have been to Seattle in the past, and Seattle is a wonderful town. And if you get to come here, you want to see the Space Needle, you want to ride
Chihuly Gardens.
You want to ride the monorail.
Ride the monorail.
I recommend
go to Chinatown.
The Rock and Roll Museum is really
the Museum of Art.
Museum of Art, but
which is
the
under the Space Needle,
yeah.
and you recommend the music section of that museum. There's like three. There's like
I thought
5
it was a Rock and
sections.
Roll Museum.
No, there's
Whatever.
like 5 sections to that museum.
Well, we've been to it before, and they're all wonderful. But we kind of had yesterday. We were in here for 2 days. We're just getting ready to leave. Yesterday, we had a day where we had to take care of administrative things. You want to explain?
Yes, so a little step back. We knew that there was some processes that we had to do to get a China visa to be able to visit China. Well, it didn't make the list of things to do before we left to come to the ship. Now, it's one of those things that just got overlooked. You didn't remind me. I didn't put it on a list. I mean, it's kind of a whole thing.
Well,
and then there was some question about,
what we were going to need,
do or need, or I don't know. It's been
of the date of this recording, some things have changed. There was a part of our itinerary we were going to go to China
for 10 days,
for a short period of time, just 10 days or less.
Something.
And that, it turns out, it looks like we're not going to need a visa for that, but we are going to need one down the road.
They took it out of our schedule,
and it's not on the itinerary right now
because of, I don't know why.
I think they just haven't had the ability to get set up on ports because it is a little more complicated when you're going to China.
I don't know.
So
it's been a crazy process.
But one of the things you have to have if you go to China for an extended period, which we think we're going to be doing probably next year in 2026, it looks like that's when it's in the itinerary.
Because it's going to be several weeks.
It'll be several weeks we're going to be able to spend there. But you have to have a visa there. And what I'm talking about is U.S. citizens, because it does vary for different nationalities around the world.
Right.
But for us, we need a visa, and the process includes
getting a second. Well, what the recommendation is getting a second passport, because what you would have to do is send in your passport to the Chinese consulate, right?
Right.
And then they keep your passport. Well, we wouldn't be able to be here traveling.
Well, they don't keep your passport, but they need it to review.
They need it to review. So we need it to be on the ship so we can travel. So the process is you get a second passport. And so we had to go to make an appointment online and come to the lovely Seattle passport office. And our appointment was at 10:30. We got
the reason that a lot of people do that, and we had a lot of people on our ship, probably 20 people or better on our ship go there, is that this office is equipped to actually where you apply for the passport and you have your interview and so forth, and they can actually generate a passport for you the same day. If not the next day.
So all of us who didn't do that prior to boarding the ship all rushed into the office here in Seattle. And like you said, there was about 20 of us, wasn't it? Yeah. So we all had appointments that were very close together. So we all go down to the passport office. And the process started. We stood in line and we
Started
waited.
at 10 o'clock,
stayed
10:30.
We stood in line and we waited. We stood in line and waited. And we stood in line and
And
waited.
then we had our interview.
Then they let us in the building, but it was
that's
way
before they let
after
us in.
10:30.
Yeah.
We got into the building, and then we had to stand in one line for them to review our paperwork.
Well, that's
just
when
to
you
review it.
That's when you do the actual interview with the agent.
right.
And
Like
one thing I
why-
will throw in here too is all the agents that we dealt with were very helpful.
Yes.
There's not
It's
an
not their
automatic
fault.
process for people that are living on a cruise ship. It's very new concept, so because of that, there's a lot of extra hoops you got to jump through, including we had to have a boarding pass from the
Corporate
Villa,
office.
Villa Vie, who actually owns the ship and sets the itinerary, and you have to have that piece of paper showing kind of where you're beginning and where you're ending. This showed that we were beginning now so that we could expedite getting it done. And it then went out, the itinerary they put together, the synopsis.
All the way through 2028.
Right, through the full circumnavigation.
So we got that, and they looked at that, and then we had to write a letter of why each one of us. Now you got to remember, Paul had to do his paperwork, I had to do mine. So it was two of everything we had to do. And so we had to write a letter why we wanted a second passport, why we were requesting one
Just a
in an
paragraph.
urgent situation. Yeah, we're getting ready to leave, guys. So we got all that. That took a while. And then
we skipped one important thing before we got there. We had to go by a UPS store and get our pictures done, passport pictures.
Oh yes, we had to go.
That only took a moment, though. That was quick.
That was quick. They were great too.
Yeah.
So got that done. Got there. Got through this. Then you were assigned a number, and then we had to sit and wait again. So now it's like 12:30-ish. They've done our interview. We got everything. We got we did our hold our hand up, swear our information was all right, and then we left and went and got some lunch because they told us to come back at 2:00.
Yeah.
Because then we could after 2:00 we could pick up our stuff. So we went and had lunch.
We had a great lunch. Long story short is that we came back at 2:00. We didn't get our passports till a little before
4:30.
4:30.
Oh, wait a sec. Can I tell them about the clock?
Oh, you could, yeah. When we were standing in line.
So we were standing in line. This is just a funny side note. We were standing in line, nobody behind us, and this clock that was on the wall flew off the wall and landed on the floor. The battery went flying. We picked up the clock, we picked up the battery, and the security officer came and grabbed it from us. He was going to take care of it for us. And he didn't change. He didn't set the time.
No,
he didn't update
the time got messed up.
On the
so
clock.
it was like an hour and a half
So I
off.
think that's why Paul thinks that we
that's
left
not-
earlier than 4:30.
No, we'll check. We'll check our records.
So anyway, no, it was 4:30. That's just a side note.
that was.
But they were all helpful. They did what they could with what they.
That was our whole day, though, was dealing
The
with
whole day.
passwords. Except we did have a shining star in that we actually found out about one of our favorite bands playing in concert yesterday evening. And that was Cowboy Junkies. And Cowboy Junkies right now are celebrating their 40th anniversary as a band. And it was a fabulous concert at a wonderful concert hall, the Moore Theater in downtown.
One of those old historic theaters that's been turned over and restored and turned into a music venue. Great place. But we had to run back to the ship. We grabbed a bite to eat, and then we ran back out again.
Yes.
So we were running everywhere.
Yeah, we had done it again like we did in San Francisco. We did a zip car, which worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
We didn't have any trouble getting around. I mean, we got to the passport office early enough, and we got to the concert fine, and found
Had a great time.
a parking garage close by.
It was a great concert.
it
great
really
concert.
was.
Hey, I have to tell you, I like your raincoat. It's very
Do you like
appropriate
it?
for
It's
Seattle.
It was raining here a little bit.
So Can you see? Oh, the clouds are still.
You can't see.
You can't see Mount Rainier.
Mount Rainier is out that way under the clouds.
It's out under the
but
clouds.
This is we've got Seattle on the other side of the ship. This is looking kind of at the shipyard, and you can see
There's a harbor here with some beautiful yachts,
sailboats, and yachts.
There's
here.
one of those cruise ships going by that has thousands of people on it.
Oh yeah, there's supposed to be 3 cruise ships coming in today. Today was another day that was just crazy. Again, we didn't get to do really anything fun for the most part. I took the zip.
I have to tell you something. If you make me eat an IKEA hot dog one more time,
well, you didn't have the meatballs,
I might have to push you out of the car.
Lynn's kind of jumped ahead. That's kind of what we ended up doing. I ended up having to take the zip car back because it was due at 9, and I had arranged for a rental of a pickup truck because we knew we were going to be going to IKEA today. One of the last ports, at least before Japan, that we're going to be able to pick up furniture for the cabin.
Now, IKEA is international.
They're international.
Don't get us wrong.
No, but the ports we have, we're not going to be able to get to till Japan.
Right.
So,
but we don't know what those foreign ports are going to be like to be able to get stuff on and off the ship. So
yeah. Well,
that's why we wanted to do it before we left the United States.
Well, and the other thing, quite honestly, Lynn, is when we get, if there is an IKEA we know in Tokyo, but the problem is that Tokyo from the ship is a train ride. And the last thing
I don't think I want to carry IKEA furniture around on a train.
We picked it up today, and there were many, many boxes, and we found a way to kind of stuff them in the cabin and make them work. So they're in there. What we're waiting on now is a construction crews from the ship to pull out the counter. And if you saw our episode on what we're doing to renovate the cabin,
Renovation Odyssey.
Renovation Odyssey. But we're waiting for them to rip that out. Once they rip that out, we can do the hard flooring underneath it, and then we can get the dresser built and the desk put together.
Can I tell him a little secret?
Yeah.
Can I tell him a little secret?
I guess. What is it?
I don't have pictures for it yet because we're going to wait for the big reveal.
Yeah.
But we've already done some renovations.
Yes, we've done some neat wall
which
stuff.
I really love, and you're gonna love them too.
You are too.
You're gonna love them. And it was very creative.
We'll do an update on the progress probably in our next episode. We're going to be heading off to Victoria and then also Vancouver in Canada, and maybe we can give you a little sampling. We need to show the progress. If this is like HGTV and Renovation Odyssey, then we got to show a little bit of progress.
Look back,
what we're doing.
What we did. So, but we're very excited. Yeah. We've been busy. We've been busy people. So we love you, Seattle. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
And
we should mention, once we got everything loaded in the cabin, then I had to actually take the car back to the airport. So when I got the car back to the airport, I literally had an hour to get back to the ship because they moved up our time because they've got 3 large cruise ships coming into Seattle, and because of that we have to clear out an hour early. So I was dashing back. I literally got to cruise ship with just maybe 10 minutes to spare, so barely made it. Haven't missed a ship yet, so hopefully that won't happen.
And that made Godson happy because he likes you to be there before.
Godson?
He's our... No, what is his title?
He's the guy that checks people in.
He's the guy that checks people in and out.
Yes.
Him and Maria and a couple of other people.
Right.
Oh my gosh, they're wonderful. But he's always like,
time to go.
Beerly. I don't want to be stressed out. I don't want to have to worry about you. And I don't know. I don't hear him tell other people that. He tells us that. So I think maybe we've been good. A little close, maybe a couple of times, which now he says early.
Yeah.
Be here early so I don't have to worry about you.
Yeah. So we got on. One important thing that you haven't mentioned yet is our new chairs.
Oh, look, I have a cup holder.
In it. But these are the director chairs, folding director chairs that we got. We got these by Amazon back in San Diego.
Yeah, but this is the first time
we've used them. Absolutely,
Christening.
So it's good to have these out and have them ready. They work real well. they're at a good height. One of the reasons we wanted to do this is it's a height that we can actually see over railings and things, so it works out real well.
Yeah. So this is another little area that we haven't shown you yet on the ship. So if you, this is at the opposite end of our hall. We have one on our side, but it was a little more windy on that side of the ship, so we decided to come over here to this side. But you come out the door, and we have stairs that go down. You probably remember that in a previous episode. I believe we showed that. And we were probably on that side when we did it. But this is just the opposite side. This is port side. Mm-hmm. And so this is deck 6. And there's just this little cove, little cutout here that we all kind of share it up here on 6th Avenue.
We did do a show from the other side.
From the other side. So this is the port side.
Yeah.
And so we thought today this would be another good place to come to and show you.
And Seattle's been wonderful. It's been a little overcast while we're out, but didn't really start raining until a while ago.
Isn't that
There's the ship horn. I guess we're getting ready to push off. Oh, we've moved away from the dock a little bit.
So what? Where were we at?
Well, one thing I wanted to mention about Seattle is when I was running around, we kind of skipped over it this morning, taking the zip car back, going to the airport. I ended up taking the monorail, so I got to ride monorail. It was right underneath the Space Needle, so I walked. I got to the Space. I didn't go up, but these are some pictures of the Space Needle, and also I found this really unique park area that. And I didn't get the name of it. I'll have to look it up online. Oh, one more with. Well, you'd think we were on a ship or something. But there was this neat parabolic in the middle, huge parabolic that people were actually walking in the middle of the park near the Space Needle. I'll find out what it's called, and we'll put that on. But this is what it looked like. So yeah, it was kind of neat.
Well, good. I'm glad you got to go on a tour.
Yeah, well, I don't want to give up the what we've done in Seattle without saying a few things that people should maybe check out. And there's a lot more to check out in Seattle. If you make it up to the northwest part of the United States, it's a great place to go.
I'll have you post my bacon peanut butter burger.
Oh, that'd be good. We should do that.
Because that was yummy.
Bacon peanut butter. Here it is now. There you go. It's up.
Okay.
Well, great. Well, thank you, everybody. We'll see you.
Can I do a shout out?
Oh, well, yes.
Can I do a shout out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Judy. Welcome aboard. Hi, Jackie, and hi, Lane. Thank you guys for watching. You found us and came up and said hi, and I just wanted to say hi back to you. And you're going to be here on the ship for a couple of weeks, and so we'll talk more with you, but just wanted to give you a shout out. It was my pleasure meeting you, all three of you.
And I'll say hi to Judy, who I met this morning. She's new on the ship, and she said she's been watching us for a while and was excited to really see us. So we're starting to see a lot of people here who have been watching the podcast and the YouTube channel.
I know, yeah.
If you haven't yet, we ask you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Share this with other people, get them to subscribe. We're building a great audience and a great community, and it's fun. We do read your comments. We try to respond to them right away.
And if you have questions.
Yeah, and some of your questions you have, we are going to be addressing over some future podcasts. Some of them we've already addressed. So hopefully we're getting to them and explaining how this whole thing's working.
I think we have a few questions that we haven't answered yet, but we will definitely be doing those on C days. Those are usually good days to answer questions and show the renovation and all those kinds of things.
And you know, the other thing I should mention, there's a lot of other YouTube channel people here on board, and over time, hopefully we'll get to talk to some of them too. Some of you all may already follow. So they're on. A lot of them have just come on board really in the last few ports. So we're going to get to know them a little better too. Yeah. So it's exciting. You can see the scenery moving in behind us because we are moving out now.
On our way. So Victoria, here we come.
Victoria's next. One sea day and then Victoria, right?
think so.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. And then Vancouver after that, we'll be in Vancouver, I believe,
2
for
days.
Canada
for Canada Day.
Yeah, so
that will be great. We'll be bringing you some fun activities and talking more about Canada Day.
Yeah.
It's July 1st.
July 1st. And then
And-
July 4th, we'll be in the United States again.
Right, we'll be in Ketchikan,
Ketchikan,
and we'll
Alaska.
catch up with the 4th of July celebrations there.
That's right.
So lots of fun things still to come.
Absolutely.
And I hope we get to start seeing whales on a more regular basis.
Yes.
Oh, somebody told me,
This is the cruise
Who has-
terminal behind us. by
Oh,
the way.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a cruise
somebody did tell me who was just got back from Alaska that I met down on the port. I took some family pictures for him at the boat. But they said in the morning you see a lot of the whales.
Oh, really?
So we're going to have to get up early and watch
Well, the nice
whales.
thing is we can see them right out our front window.
Well, I know. And then we
get
have to
heads up.
run
Yeah.
outside.
And let
so-
everybody else know.
and let everybody
Yeah.
else know. Go knocking on
That's
doors.
our
Whales,
task.
whales,
Whale,
whales.
whale alert, whale alert.
Usually the captain or one of the crew member up on the navigation
They
desk
do.
gives us a warning.
Because they're right
so-
directly above
Above
us.
us.
Yeah, the navigation desk.
That's right, I forgot.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Yeah. Well, I heard them talking out there a little while ago. So they were
Okay.
getting all the lines pulled off of the ship before we took off.
All right. Well, we're leaving the port, and we're gonna let you folks go. And thanks for joining us on our excellent adventure that we're
Yeah.
having. And we appreciate each and every one of you and love you all.
Absolutely.
And we'll look for those comments and questions.
Good. See you next time.